So Percy Jackson and the Olympiads just came out, right? It just finished season 1. Really good show. There's one prop in particular that I really wanted. The minute I saw it on screen, I was like, that's the one. And it's the Master Bolt. I love how that thing looked. It's super detailed, super intricate, and it just looks really cool. Let me pull you in so I can show you my version of it. So I spent the better part of a week modeling, and this is what I came up with. It's not exact. There's a couple things that I need to change to make it perfect, but with the reference I have, this is as good as I can get. It's broken down into a bunch of pieces. There's the tip, the shaft, the 90 or the bend, the cap, the handle, and then everything the same on the other side. Let me let's readjust a little bit so you can actually see what these look like. Now, of course, these are just resin parts. I decided to do the whole thing in resin because it's not going to be for costume. It's just going to be a wall piece. But I mean, look at this. Let's see if we can get this to focus. That's the handle. That thing is just really cool looking. The end caps here snap into the end of the handle, right, like this. Oh, that is so neat. I really like this. These pieces go here, right? And then the bolt actually slots into it like that. Oh, it's such a cool project. I am very happy with how it turned out. So it's going to be a quick video, I'm hoping. Should just be paint, finishing, that sort of thing. Step 1 is to coat everything in acetone. Acetone does a really good job of cleaning off resined parts so paint can adhere properly. This thing has tons of nooks and crannies. And there's no way I would be able to clean each individual area because there's hundreds, thousands, lots of them. The best way to get all the uncured resin off is to just soak it in acetone. Acetone will pull it off. Doesn't affect the already cured resin, but it removes the uncured resin really good. It does a very good job of removing uncured resin. So you got a couple of containers. Just going to fill them with acetone. Soak some parts for about 10-15 minutes. Scrub them off. I'm going to have a respirator on the whole time. No point in filming it. Nobody needs to see me scrubbing parts just to clean them. Everything's been acetone. The acetone has had time to completely flash off. So now we just glue the pieces together. Super easy. Luckily, most of these pieces are keyed to only fit one way. Make sure everything is dry. Acetone is a super glue inhibitor, so you got to be careful. Make sure everything is clean before we put everything together, else it won't glue properly. I designed them to really only fit one way. So if I put it together like this, you see how it points up? That's not right. It's got a straight line along here and a straight line along there. That's what we're going for. Probably going to start by gluing these two pieces together. Random piece of acrylic. And now we wait. When I'm done waiting, I'm going to glue these onto that, and we'll pick up after that. I'm going to glue the bends onto the 90, or the bends onto the bolt itself. All right, let's see where we're at. Now we're going to glue the turns onto the handle. And this is the hard part because it needs to be pretty well lined up. So I'm going to do one at a time. Do the other side. That side looks like it still has a little acetone on it. So this is a problem with videos. Sometimes everything goes right, nothing goes wrong, and it's just a boring video. I do believe this is going to be just a boring video. I took my time, I modeled everything right, printed this thing like 7 or 8 different times so far. And everything's just going together pretty well. So, yeah. Sometimes it is as simple as put the thing together, paint the thing up, then you have the thing. Alright. Should let it dry for a couple of minutes before I go messing with the other side. Entertaining, they are identical, the left and the right. They're just rotated. So as long as I make them identical, I should have nothing to worry about. It's a good series, by the way, the Percy Jackson series. It's well written. It's engaging. I liked it. I've read the first book. I haven't read any of the others. The deal with the teenager was I would read one of their books, they would read one of my books, we went back and forth. There's just so many books. This was one of theirs that they're like, hey, you should read that. And I'm like, cool, I read it. And I made them read Dune. I need to read the next ones. It looks like an interesting series. We're just waiting for glue to dry. As soon as this is done, we prime everything. So I'll see you once we're done priming. Alright, look at this thing. This is just fantastic. I love this. It's a cool looking bolt. Alright. Prime. I'm going to use standard sandable primer. I'm going to clamp it in the middle and spray both ends. Then once that's dry, I'm going to spray the middle. Just seems the easiest way. I don't want to put any undue weight on anything. So we'll pick back up in a minute. Using Rust-Oleum American Accents metallic aged brass. Priming looks fantastic. I am going to spray these 3 pieces lightly twice. I've got a bin here. They can just set it in to let it dry. Don't even need to hang it. I'm just going to hold it and spray. Fully painted. It looks fantastic. It's a little too flat. The one in the show is aged, so it's got patina in it. We're going to simulate that with a little bit of brown and some water. It's a pretty thin wash because I want it to flow pretty easy. I'm just going to put it everywhere and then wipe it off. Maybe give it a couple of seconds. Luckily, there's not a lot of age or patina on these. There's no weathering, no real damage. I'll probably end up doing this 3 or 4 times. And just keep going back and forth and back and forth. Little paint, little looking for a plate. Little paint, little water. Let's try some. I want this to be relatively thick. And I also want it mainly in all of the recesses. If it wasn't for how even everything is, I'd have done a coat of brown first. So we're going to go like 3 or 4 different treatments, if you will. Let me pull you around so you can see what I'm doing. And get a little closer. That's a bit better. Put a little bit of paint right here. Random lid. So there's enough water on the brush. I can just use that water to thin all of this out. And I am just stippling the whole thing in. Wiping the excess off. And suddenly, so if you can compare the two sides, you can really see a difference there. I'm just going to do that with the rest of the blade. This thing turned out spectacular. I could take days just adding more detail here and there, weathering it a little more here, a little more there. I'm not gonna. At least not now. I probably will. It's gonna go up on a wall, then it's gonna come down and get painted, and then put back up on a wall, and then down and painted until I'm happy with it, which will probably be never. Eventually, I'm sure I will end up casting it in bronze. And then it'll look perfect. Because whoever the prop person is who made the originals, or did any of the work for the Percy Jackson series, that is an artist. That person, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, I don't know, I don't want to generalize or genderize someone. But that person did an amazing job. The props for the show are just spectacular. And this is my attempt at one of them. And I love it. I'm very happy with it. It's an easy one. Nothing went wrong this time. I 3D modeled the thing, I printed a thing, then we painted the thing. That was pretty much it. Sometimes projects go like this. We just spent 11 videos on the Mospeada Cyclone armor. I wanted something easy, something light this time. It is what it is. And this turned out fantastic. So, like I said, my name is Hawk. This is my channel. I make stuff like this all the time. Costumes, props, that sort of thing. If that's something you're into, think about sticking around. If not, thanks for making it to the end. Either way, hope to see you next time.